You know, Barbie has been around since like 50s and 60s, and this is the first live action under the name like Barbie that we got. But I can't even say that it's about Barbie necessarily. It's not about her. If this is your first time coming across my videos, welcome to my channel. My name is Dan O. I'm a cinema lover and I try to do in-depth analysis and hate on, the TV series that everybody hates. You can check out my other videos later after this video, just wait. So this is going to be like a full of spoilers about the Barbie movie. Please don't click away if you're a boy. This is not going to be some pink and happy and, feminist review. Okay, I'm gonna analyze it in different angles. I'm gonna do like a time steps in the description so you can follow that. I don't know when and where this became like a boys versus girls competition between Oppenheimer and Barbie. Me and my girlfriends, we all dressed up in pink and we went to the nearest cinema, where we live. And our theater was not the best. It was very small and we sat like very close to the screen. I wouldn't recommend it for any movie. That was a torture for our necks and for our eyes. But let me tell you, we really enjoyed it. Like, yes, it's bizarre. Let's say it's very hard to describe. I even asked my friends, like, how would I describe it to other people? And some of them were saying, oh, it's a comedy, but it has dark humor in it. But it's not really making fun of those, topics. And so it's very hard to like pinpoint what type of a genre of movie is this. I really feel like we need new words to describe this type of movies. Let me tell you from the beginning, this movie is not about toys. It's not about feminism. It's not an attack on men, our lovely men. Why do you think everything is an attack on you? We love you. Nobody's attacking you. You just calm down. Just because it's about a doll that girls play with it and women grow up with it and we wear pink and stuff. It's not an attack on you. Some critics needs to like calm down, like seriously. Anyways, we laughed our asses off. There are some cameos. I don't know if I should spoil it for you or not. I mean, this is a spoilers review, but you can skip to the I'm gonna put the timer if you don't want to get spoiled about this cameo. But like, when John Cena jumped out of the water as a Ken merman, I just lost it. I was laughing my ass off. Even some of the men that were in the theater, most of the people were women and girls, to be honest, in our screening. There were some men, pretty sure their girlfriends have dragged them to the movie, but they were having a good time. They were laughing, they were enjoying it, they were engaged. None of them were on their phones. So that's a good sign. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk about the setting and the tone of the movie. Barbie has always been around. She's always been a character. She's always been an idea or a concept. We have a lot of like animation movies about her, but it's usually like putting Barbie, usually the blonde one is the main character, in different settings, like in famous fairy tales, famous operas, famous musicals, famous settings like in a school or whatever, but we never cover Barbie's story. We don't know who she is actually. She has a lot of jobs. She's from different ethnicities and nationalities, and she has a lot of accessories and a lot of homes, but we don't know who she is. This movie doesn't really help that either. I think it's very hard to give a concept, give an idea, a solid backstory. And I think it's an artistic choice as well that they don't want to tie Barbie to just one story, because they really want to use this character in the future as well. Mattel, I kind of feel like is a very strong corporate, right? They control everything, and they have been controlling some documentaries and altering the story and the effect of Barbie a little bit as well. In recent years, they have come up with this propaganda of like how they made the first fully grown adult doll, which is not true. There are a lot of good videos on YouTube. I recommend you to watch it. So they have been manipulating the history a lot. So when we heard about the movie, I was a little skeptical. We saw some photos and images of Ryan Gosling in denim, and we all freaked out, right? I wasn't the only one. But when I heard Greta Gerwig is in charge of the movie, I was kind of relieved. She has enough cinematic literacy to bring in fresh ideas. And like I said, there is a little bit of a crossover between art house movies and mainstream movies. Especially with like last year, Everywhere, Everything, All at Once won the Oscar. And it was such a bizarre movie that we couldn't even put it in one category. And Barbie is the same, to be honest. Like, we can't really say it's a comedy. We can't really say it's like, they explain it as a fantasy adventure movie. I can't even say that. To me, is more of a something like a Muppet movie slash like Tree of Life depth of philosophical concepts in this movie that it's new. We need new words to describe it, and this is not the first time that is happening into cinema. Kubrick was one of the first people who brought in art house absurdic movies into mainstream, especially with Odyssey. I don't think it was a coincidence that the beginning of the movie paid homage to Odyssey. The opening was fantastic, even though it was like hammering the Mattel propaganda a little bit hard and saying that Barbie was the first adult doll, But the visual wise, Gerwig did an excellent job. It was like an element of like artificial feeling to the set, especially in Barbie Land, that I really like. You know what it reminds me of? Batman and Robin. You remember with the nipples and everything? There was a level of like plasticky, artificial feeling to their costumes as well, which, if you know the history of that movie, is all about selling toys. So they nailed it in this movie. And she was paying homage to 50s and 60s, musicals that you can see it in the Only Ken, in the I'm Only Ken part. That was so funny. And she used painted backgrounds and vivid colors. So visual wise, it was excellent. I guess story wise, it was a little bit unbalanced, and I'll tell you why. When you create an absurd setting, you still have to maintain a little bit of logic within your world building, let's say. Although this is like an absurd level of cinema and storytelling, and this is why some of the art house cinemas loses viewers, you have to set some logic into a story. When Barbie and Ken cross over to our world and they're experiencing their real life, when we get to Mattel and Mattel in the company with Will Ferrell, the absurdity is back, the fantasy is back, and it doesn't feel like the real world. It felt like a SNL sketch, and it went way too long. Like, I didn't like those parts. It was in the third act, and I didn't really like it. I wish they maintained the reality in real world and left the whole absurd comedy parts in Barbie Land. The story itself was trying to tackle very important, very real, very deep concepts. One of them was patriarchy and commenting on feminism today how men feel about it, what about men in the world. It's a very hot topic nowadays. And the other one was existential crisis of Barbie itself. And the patriarchy part wasn't handled very well, let's say. It was kind of glossed over. It was for the laughs, for Ken's character development, let's say. But Barbie's part was the part that really hit me hard. And that was the part that got me, to be honest. There is a scene that Barbie is sitting in a park and she's observing the real life. And she's looking around, looking at people going through different emotions like sadness, they're talking, they're laughing. And then she turns around and she looks at this old lady sitting next to her on the bench in the park. And there's no dialogue at first. She just looks at her and she smiles at her. And I kind of felt like this is Barbie's way of telling us, I'm thinking I'm never gonna get old. I'm thinking, like Barbie was thinking, that she's never going to experience all of these things. And it kind of hit me because I kind of feel like I'm never gonna get old. I'm not gonna get that old. I'm not gonna be the old lady sitting in the bench, in a park. And for personal reasons, maybe I'll make a video about it later. I don't know. But I start crying. Yeah, I start like choking up, like tears coming down. You never thought like a pink, comedy movie hit you that hard about a doll. Hit you that hard, but here we are. And you didn't think I'm gonna get this deep, huh? This is what happens on my channel, so it's a good time for you to subscribe to me to watch my other videos. Anyways, but the movie at the end kind of leaves the patriarchy part alone and just focuses on Barbie's journey. At the end, Barbie becomes a human, apparently. She doesn't want to live as a concept. She has a conversation with Ruth's ghost, which I have a little bit of complaint about that too. To be honest, I didn't like that they put Ruth Handler's ghost in a kitchen. If you have watched her, documentaries and her interviews, she's a very hard-headed, career-driven woman. And she was a mother and she loved it, but she never liked to be just a mother. She never liked to be just a housewife. And this is the reason why she gave so many careers to Barbie. And in a way, like if we want to follow the movie's logic, that the person who plays with the doll kind of projects their feelings to the doll, I kind of feel like Ruth projected her own ideas and her own soul to Barbie itself. And she made this independent woman who is very career driven, who never became a mother. I mean, we never saw Barbie getting pregnant. Mitch, the weird friend, was a pregnant Barbie, not Barbie herself. And I kind of feel like they did her dirty there. I wish they put her, just in an office would have been fine, not in a kitchen. But anyways, so Barbie has like a kind of a creation conversation with Ruth. And the dialogues are very nice, they're deep, but I do not like the whole montage of happy people and happy memories just going around. You've seen this type of montages of like when they want to convince the alien or the outsider that humans worth living and like humans deserve to be alive and like human experience is such an amazing thing. It's not, honey. My memories won't be like a montage of happy moments. I'm pretty sure most of yours wouldn't be like always happy, like being on the beach, laughing and playing type of memories either. So this is dinner, by the way. Barbie becomes a human and she goes by the name Barbara Handler now. But after Ruth Handler's daughter, Barbie was named after her. And spoiler at the end, she goes to a gynecologist. And I was like, oh boy, welcome to womanhood. Oh honey, after the doctor used that thingy to open your cervix, looking into your vagina, you're gonna be crawled back to Barbie land in no time. Just wait for it. Another thing is that I never felt like this is a feminist movie. I never felt like this is like about women empowered and girl boss, that this is a trend that we've been seeing, especially in Marvel movies and TV series. Ugh. For all the critics that keep telling us that this is like a long commentary on feminism and attack on men, honey, please. Honey, please. You can't talk about She-Hulk like that. Not about Barbie. It was nicely done. It got a little preachy at the end, I have to say. And I think they copied from that Instagram reel or TikTok reel that was going around about like, oh, if you're a woman, you shouldn't be too thin. You shouldn't be too fat.
We have to always be extraordinary. But somehow we're always doing it wrong. Thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass.
So the speech was all about that. It didn't hit me. I didn't really care. This type of thing's been going around for too long. I don't really care about Western feminism, to be honest. Where I come from, honey, we women are fighting for our basic rights, okay? The human character was playing with Barbie, actually. Was played by America Ferrera, which it was so nice to see her on the screen after so long. It was like seeing an old friend, I grew up with Ugly Betty. I love the traveling pants. It was so nice to see her. I don't know how old is she. Let me see. How old is she? She's 39 and she's playing a mom already. You Hollywood. I think America's character was handled very well, and I tell you why. She does express that she's going through like a hard time. She does feel depressed. She's a hardworking woman. Her daughter hates her. Her teenage daughter hates her. For a moment, I think I thought she's a single mom, but since they started to mention the dad, so I was like, okay, so she doesn't have any like fundamentally horrible life. She was just presented as a woman, and at some point it says when you are a human, sometimes you get mushy and complicated and dark, and this was exactly what she was experiencing. This is what we women really experience. We are not always pink and happy and like enthusiastic and stuff. We are complicated. The daughter character was not handled any better either. I think they kind of went with like this woke teenager, Generation Z, outspoken and like, wokeism and all those things. But she kind of got muted towards the end of the movie, which, I was a fan of. I didn't want her to go around and, politically correct everyone. So that was nicely done too. Let me talk about Ken. Oh my God. Ryan Gosling. This guy is so cute. I just sort of squished him in her face. Anyways. First of all, he is too old for playing Ken, okay? But Margot Robbie exactly is not that young looking either, so they complemented each other very well. And he was just having fun, man. I think the direction to him was just like, be a clown. Just be a clown and have fun. And he delivered. Let me just tell you that. His facial expressions in every scene that he is in, his dialogue delivery, his comedic timing. We knew he has a good comedic timing. When, do you remember during the Oscar when they announced La La Land by mistake and he was just in the corner like laughing and covering his face? I think that was a moment I fell in love with him, to be honest. And his SNL sketches were just fantastic. if you want to convince your boyfriend to come with you and watch this movie, you can play the Ryan Gosling card. He's hilarious. All right, this is the next day. A little bit of a time jump over here. I sold my couch. I'm moving out of this place. For Ken's part, I just wanted to choose my words a little more carefully, and that's why I postponed this part. So Ken's existence revolves around Barbie. All his goal during the day is for Barbie to look at him, to acknowledge him. He exists because of Barbie. Even Greta Gerwig has thought about it, and she compared the story to Adam and Eve. But Barbie and Ken's story is a little bit like, it's vice versa. So Barbie came first and then came Ken. So at the end of the movie, Barbie and Ken have this heart-to-heart conversation. Barbie advises Ken to find your own identity outside of me, beside me. I am not your girlfriend. We are nothing. I mean, she even turns down his romantic, gestures and everything. And she said, no, you have to find out who you are. And then Ken was like, okay, I'm Ken, I'm Kenough, which was so funny, to be honest. That was just genius. I want to interpret that as what is happening nowadays. I am pretty sure that everyone has seen this gender propaganda going on nowadays in social media, on Instagram, on TikTok. You see everything. So what is happening is that a lot of men, researchers, psychologists, doesn't matter, sociologists, doesn't matter, they are conducting researches on unmarried, child-free women. And here's a clip. Let's just watch one of them.
The report shows that by 2030, 45% of working women ages 25 to 45 by 2030 will be non-married, no kids, single. Okay, so you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Okay, if you think that you're going to be 45 years old, no kids, not married, and that you're gonna genuinely be fulfilled in life because you made money, best of luck to you, honey.
Right.
So according to them, and I don't know why they're so concerned about women, women like me, I'm over 30, I'm child-free, I'm not planning on getting married or having children anytime soon, or ever, maybe, that we're gonna die alone and all depressed and lonely. And my question to them is that why are you so concerned about women? And why the conversation is all about women. They're attacking women, they're questioning women's moves. Meanwhile, women like me, we are shedding our traditional identities. We are accepting and adopting new identities now. Let's say we are forming a new modern woman, let's say. The last time we used this term was for women in 80s that they were mothers, but they entered the workforce and everything. And but for my generation, or a little bit before us, we are completely ignoring and completely putting aside our motherly duties, our wifey duties, let's say. We don't want to have those identities anymore. We are working, we have careers, we are making our own money. The pills really helped for us to not accidentally become mothers, so we have the choice. And it is empowering, but it does come with a lot of extra responsibilities. So there's a lot of weight on our shoulders too. But this type of conversation has come up with very dangerous groups that all are against women. On the one side of the spectrum, we have incels. The whole reason why they exist is because women ignore them, according to them. And they're so anti-women, sometimes become so violent, sometimes become so dangerous. And the other side of the spectrum, we have this alpha male, red pill. I know the term alpha male is not correct. We don't have such thing as alpha male, but this is what they call themselves. So I'm gonna go ahead and call them that. This alpha male who just bash women, who just belittle women, who just degrade women.
I'm tired of seeing chicks beat up men. I'm tired of seeing it. Oh yeah, you want to mess with me? You think I'm a girl? And you mess with me, you're gonna learn something. Hey yeah, fuck you, ho. You ain't gonna do shit. Suck dick and cook.
I think these alpha male are losing their minds because they don't have any active roles in women's life anymore, and they cannot. I don't want to focus on the negative parts, but the way they talk, all they think about is controlling and manipulating and overpowering women, you know, and they cannot tolerate or stomach a woman becoming financially independent or becoming stronger, and then they becoming, in a way, anti-women. I think the movie's message through Ken and what Ken went through was that for these men to find their identities outside of, you know, women, go find yourself, go become the modern men, because I don't want to, when I think about modern men, I don't want these douchebags to come to mind. I think men need to leave women alone. Stop telling us what to do, stop telling us how to live. Like, women over 30 and 40 without children and husbands and homes, we are fine. We are more than fine. We are excellent. I'm gonna shift it over to yesterday's Nazgul because she was in a better mood. Barbie, if she didn't represent women in 60s and 70s, a little bit of 80s maybe, right now, I strongly can say that women my age are living in Barbie land, in their head at least, not in real world. And by that I don't mean like, you know, all pink and happy, like party every day and pillow fights and haha, not about that. We are having careers, we are having our money, we are having our own dream houses. Most of my friends are either purchasing properties or you know, everybody lives alone by themselves. And men have taken a back seat for us. You know what I mean? And I think this is why alpha men are losing their minds. They need to calm down, and men really need to find other ways and focus on themselves as well. To all of men, I love you so much. But you're sounding ridiculous. Seriously. Like, you need to calm down, honey. Single women over 30, we're fine. We're doing just fine. Let me finish it by this note. Barbie is a deliciously weird, funny, deep movie. I highly recommend it. Please do not watch it after Oppenheimer, because holy crap, that movie, spoiler, is 3 hours long, character focused, dialogue heavy movie. You'll get a headache. Doesn't matter the order, okay? So, you know, watch that one too. And please stop the fight that this is boys versus girls cinema. No, let's just celebrate that everybody is going to cinema. It was just 2 years ago that we thought like cinema is a dead concept. We're gonna watch movies from our phones, okay? Let's just celebrate it. Let's just dress up, go to the cinema, have an experience, and really enjoy it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the content, please subscribe, share, comment so other people can see this video as well. And please go ahead and watch my other videos and have a nice day. Bye.